All right, we are live.
Hello. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast. I am Otto, and tonight I'm joined with a few new people. First, here's the militant, violent extremist, Jared.
That's me.
Yes. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
And Alex Schlegel.
Just Alex. What's up?
Yeah, just Alex. Okay, so all right. And I don't know how we were able to do this, but Roger Pion. He's with us tonight. I don't know how.
I'm not actually Roger Pion. I'm just paying
okay.
tribute to him with my name on the thing there. So anyway, it's James Babb. Anyway, just cheers to Roger Pion because I feel like he just needs to be continually out there. Like people just need to remember that he is that he's just a hero out there. He's out there ready to inspire us.
Running over cop cars. Yep. Hell yeah. All right. And the great Clint Russell has agreed to join us.
What's up, gents? I am the host of Liberty Lockdown. For those that aren't familiar, nice to meet you guys.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on, man. I know you had a busy weekend. Hopefully you're monkeypox free from the y'all event. I hope you were able to stay clean, my friend.
I tried my best to get it, but no.
Well, I was going to say, I hope you have a lifestyle that risks monkeypox, right? Like, I mean, you got to live.
Yeah, you got to live, man. I mean,
I know. You were really
close
close
to
to
fucking
Reed,
monkeypox stop me from making sweet love to people, you know,
or monkeys or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Man. Brad, Reed, I had a whole litany of options this weekend. I am absolutely gonna take my shot.
Tulsi, I saw Tulsi was there too.
Ooh.
Yeah, she honestly gave one of the best political speeches I've seen in person ever. Like really good.
As an anarchist, I have a big crush on her.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I always didn't really like her. And this speech, I mean, granted, she's a political creature, so she is tailoring it to the audience that is in front of her. But damn, did she do a good job of it? You know, she talked Second Amendment. She talked, ending the warfare state. I mean, basically, like everything I care about. She hit all of them in a really eloquent fashion. And then I got to meet her, and she was very nice. She asked me about, who I am, where I came from, what I do with my show, and was willing to talk to me for as long as I wanted to. And I just let her go because there was other people waiting. But she's very kind people.
Is she gonna come on sometime with you or Reed?
I didn't make that shot because I was with Reed, and I know Reed's been trying to get her on for a year. Yeah. So I just chatted her up and then let Reed try and work his magic. So I don't know. Hopefully coming to a naturalist capitalist near you soon.
Nice. Answer the tough question if she's a young global leader with the World Economic Forum.
Yeah,
or that picture with her doing this shit with like throwing up the.
Trust me, if she came on my show, she would get asked that question. So I hope she will, but I wouldn't bet on it. I think she's got presidential aspirations, and she's probably not going to be touching any alt media that would give her a hard time. But if I were her campaign manager, I would advise her to get in front of it and just address these things now.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is she running for now? Is she running for president again, or?
She's not running for anything openly, but as far as I'm concerned, she's running for president, clear as day.
Huh.
Yep. There's a lot of
let her anywhere near that. Just the same way they never let Ron Paul, the same way they never let Bernie Sanders. Like, I'm sorry if you're not and even Bernie Sanders like carries water for them, and he doesn't get anywhere near it. Like
true.
Well, Tulsi endorsed Biden, right? I'm pretty sure that happened, right?
Or maybe I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Is she still a member of the military currently?
I believe so.
So, really? Like, I never when people said, "Oh, she's anti-war." No, she actually personally invaded Iraq, and she's still part of the gang. So,
damn.
So
coming in hard, James.
She's clearly not anti-war. She just was like, "Hey, how about we not arm Al Qaeda in Syria?" And that was like that was as good as we could get from the Democrats in 2020. It's really remarkable.
Yeah. She endorsed Biden. This is from CNN, so it's true.
Yeah, that's what I thought. She was also saying some shit about how like using drones was better than boots on the ground and all this stuff. It's like I thought you were better than this.
She's a statist, whatever. Who cares? But I know that the people in power don't like her, right? So to me,
that's a good thing.
that has some value, whatever that is. You decide. But she was the way she was vilified on day one, right? Like as soon as she stepped on the political stage, I think for the presidency, they're like, nope, she's not part of our thing.
Well, there's a talk. Certain people in our former regime of the Libertarian Party are trying to get her in a mosh to run for president in 2024.
On the Forward Party.
No.
The Forward Party.
But this is the LP. They're trying to run as the LP.
Oh,
I think that's
wouldn't that be a nightmare? Why not have them go ruin the Forward Party instead?
I think that's already ruined to begin with. Like
with the Yang gang, with what's his name?
Yeah.
Like
Secure the bag.
I don't even know who else is joining the Forward Party now. Who cares?
Who cares?
Hillary Clinton.
I'm struggling right now. I have to admit, I've got this pre-roll I got in Massachusetts in a child-proof container, and I swear to God, I can't open it. I got a tool here. Has anybody had this problem, or is this just like a first world kind of a problem?
I think it's a you problem, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, all right. I got it. All
Operator
right.
error.
I had to bring out tools just to get there.
Jesus.
Like, what if I was a medical patient or something?
Right.
Were there any other highlights from
self-medicating psychiatric patient?
What were some other highlights from the y'all convention, Clint? Anything of note?
Yeah, I did a panel discussion with Reed Coverdale of Naturoscapulus as well as Mark Clare of Lions of Liberty, and we basically just talked about how to become free in our lifetimes. And I didn't really expect the trajectory of the conversation to go towards such like individual solutions, but it very much did. So it was just 45-minute rip from all three of us, kind of basically like a Jordan Peterson speech.
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of that today. Just kind of like all three of you just getting out where you were, because you
nice.
got out of California.
Yeah. It's I guess it's up on Lions of Liberty already. I didn't realize that. So
yeah, that's all I do all day. It's just weld all day and listen to podcasts. So
killer. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up on my channel eventually, but I'm just waiting for the video to come in because it was also video recorded. And then what was really a treat for me, I mean, not that talking with my buddies on stage wasn't a treat, that there was like probably 70 people there or something for that one. And then the other one, we did a Mises Caucus event Thursday night. And that was really fun. That was myself, Spike Cohen, Dave Smith, Michael Heiss, and Hector Roos. So it was the five of us, and that was another, probably 70 people or something. So both were very similar discussions. So it didn't really stretch me at all, which I kind of like when I do those live presentations, because it, I like the pressure of it. But this was just kind of like kick back and talk about what we're doing. So it was good experiences though.
Nice.
And I got to hang out with all my friends because like I pretty much know everybody that goes to these things now. So that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, especially being in Florida, there's a real strong, presence down there in the LP and, Mises Caucus specifically.
There's Florida Mises Caucus rides deep, man. And they're very active too. I mean, these people are like, I see them all over the country. It's really remarkable. So yeah, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm super grateful to have been embraced by, all of the legends in this world that have seen me fit to kind of ride their coattails a little bit.
I mean, you got a great lineup of guests lately. You've been having the judge on Thursdays. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. Got Judge Knapp every Thursday. This month it's going to be ridiculous.
Has he been totally exonerated now for the snow shoveling incident?
I'm not familiar. What's that?
Oh boy,
that's I don't know.
Is that really a thing? I thought it was a joke.
Well, no, it's.
I think he's been exonerated, right?
Yeah, we looked it up. Yeah. We talked about it I think it was months ago. Because now he just started the podcast. He was out at that Ron Paul event, but for a while he was kind of laying low because there were some allegations. But yeah, he was exonerated.
I swear I am not playing dumb. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? Wow.
Well, let's just leave it at that, because as far as I know, he was exonerated.
Yeah. Let's not dirty sully the man's name.
You know, and
well, shit. Now I'm gonna have to Google it later.
That weren't ended up being not...
Snow shoveling. Okay, I got you. No, I agree. I agree though. If he was exonerated, let's not drag his name through the mud further. But I should know about it just because I have him on all the time.
A lot of us were just like, this seems so sus. This just seems like, and we're just no, not
we're
the
like,
judge.
well, he is the judge, and they're all scumbags. So
yeah,
I didn't know where to go on that one. You know, like I really didn't know.
I've never even met him in person, but
judge.
I've had him on my show probably 8 or 9 Thursdays now, and I've had nothing but great experiences with the guy. He's a consummate professional and very, very genuine and sincere and sweet. So I don't have anything bad to say, but that's not to say he didn't do something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll let that go for now. But yeah,
anyway, we're giving him. He gets the benefit of any doubt. He was not. I think his accusers withdrew, or I don't know. How did that play out? I don't know, but
I don't know. Let's just move on to something else.
There was actual accusers. Interesting. So yeah. Anyways, the lineup, other than Judge Knapp every Thursday, regardless of what he was accused of, I'm gonna have him on every Thursday. I got Alex Stein, the most viral man in America. He'll be coming on next week. I got Anomaly, aka Legendary Energy. He's like one of my favorites. Twitter, YouTube persona, rapper, man after my own heart. I got Styx Hexenhammer on YouTube. He's a great political analyst. I had him on last week. I got Josie the Redhead Libertarian. I'm working on Eric July. I'm working on Adam Curry, and I got Dave Smith coming back on, as well as Jinx, Crack Connoisseur on Twitter, who does all those incredible videos.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be. I think it might be his first podcast ever. That's tomorrow night. So I don't know, man. This lineup is fucking retarded.
I'd be curious to check because we retweet.
You're doing better than we are. Okay.
Yeah, we retweet his videos every now and then.
Right?
Yeah, look at the quality of guests we get. It sucks compared to what you're.
You're right. I can't believe it. Jinx is awesome, man. He and I have been following each other for probably a year now, and we DM sometimes, and I've just been pestering him periodically, like, "Hey, man, if you ever do a podcast, it's got to be me." And he's like, he hit me up like a week ago, and he said, "Hey, I think I'll have my mic by next week." So he's finally gonna have a mic.
Awesome. Those videos are just bangers, and
unbelievable.
It's like so much information compressed in such a short span of time.
You have to watch them like at least 3 times to catch like even half of the information that he's including in them. Sometimes you have to pause them to reach it. I mean, it's like the most schizo, just epileptic awesomeness.
I watched that last video talking about It was about Nelson Rockefeller's son.
Oh yeah,
apparently went missing
to Cannibal Island.
Yeah, but I'm like, what the hell? Like, just trying to follow along that, and then the Epstein Clinton one, that was a banger with the Biggie soundtrack in the background. It just ties everything. It's so much information because it was just a couple weekends ago, or it was just this past weekend. I was asking my girlfriend, I was like, what the fuck ever happened to Chris Tucker? I think we were watching a movie or something. It's like, and then I saw that Jinx video, and I was like, oh fuck, Chris Tucker was tied up in Epstein Island, and this is why he might has been laying low for a while.
Maybe.
So,
who knows? But if I was one of the people that had been on that plane, I'd be like, look, FBI, you need to fucking disclose your findings, because everyone's thinking that everyone that was on these planes was doing crazy shit. And I would imagine, I can't imagine every single person on Epstein's flight logs was actually diddling kids, but who knows? Maybe.
I'm thinking that Bill Gates just kept going and hoping to diddle kids. But they had to just keep coming back and
turning them down.
He just wasn't cool enough to get in.
He wasn't cool enough to even get to that level. But he kept trying and trying.
Even 12-year-old sex slaves turned him down.
Wow.
He couldn't even make that
he was like Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut. He just wasn't quite accepted,
Well, he was surprised they weren't impressed with his prosthetic mammary device. Right,
his moves,
or his plan for
the real boobs or the fake boobs.
Like the 12-year-old sex slave goes up to Epstein's like, that I don't want to have sex with that pregnant lesbian woman.
I'll throw myself into the sea if you make me do it. And they're like, okay, you don't have to.
Only if you do it for Moloch, you can do it.
Moloch.
Yeah. Speaking of Epstein, how about the Alex Jones trial that's going on? Or it's
45 mil.
Right? Yeah.
Did you see that line from Alex Jones where he was asked about?
Jared's got it up here.
Yeah, Jared's going to pull up the docs.
Yeah,
Jared's going to.
Can we show that?
Yeah. So this is the prosecutor. This was the prosecutor questioning Alex Jones on the stand, and it's like I don't even know why he would go down this line of questioning. It's like, have you not watched his show or you're not familiar with him? But this,
I know.
Your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia, child trafficking, and the grooming of children, right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
That's great.
I saw the extended version of that video, and the prosecutor just walked away with his head down and just he even was kind of laughing a little bit, to the point where that was a stupid question. Why'd I even go there? Why'd I even ask that? What do you expect that the answer was going to be? What? But the fact that you see the pictures of this judge, so I posted in the.
Are those real? I saw this too.
I don't know, man. Because I'd be really, I'd be shocked if there was a judge. And that's the thing. I didn't look into it. I was super busy all weekend.
You're talking about the judge that presided over
this case,
the civil trial.
Yeah, and there's a tweet I posted in the chat, and it's all her social media, and it's like, vote Democrats and get vaccinated, or
it's like vote blue no matter who type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of whether or not she's she's actually posting that shit on social media. If you've seen her during this trial, she is one of the most biased, awful judges I've ever seen in my life. It is a political hit job through and through.
Oh, totally. Yeah, and so condescending, such a Karen. Yeah,
I mean, horrific. That's pretty much all judges are, right? I mean, but.
Oh, she got her vaccine.
Yeah.
See, the fact that there's two though of that same photo makes me think it's a shop
just for being transgender. Okay, I think that if she wants to be transgender and be all out there, I'm fine with that.
I support it. I hope she joins the 40%.
Whoa.
Hey, what's this? What's the 40%?
Nothing. Anyway,
I thought that would get a bigger laugh. You guys are sensitive. You told me this was like Tower Gang. What the fuck?
I don't even know what that means.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay,
I'll laugh once you tell me what it means.
I'm definitely not going to tell you.
It's the suicide rate.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Wow, yeah.
I've heard that.
That was a dark joke, and
that's a good one.
It would have got a huge pop on Tower Gang. That's all I have to say.
Oh damn.
I mean, I'm kidding. Obviously, I hope she lives a long and healthy life, but she is also a fucking piece of shit. So
clearly,
$4 million or 40 was it? $42 million.
45 to one couple, but then only like 4 million to another couple. And I just don't know how in a modern day you can prove that someone caused $45 million worth of damage to your family when you've never met in person. What I just don't know how do you rule, like, how do you just come up with this 45 million? Like, for what? I still don't understand for what.
Well, the person who came up with that was obviously someone who's morally superior to you and me, and that they have sort of maybe a direct connection to God, in fact, and they're going to know just intuitively or divinely or through divine inspiration, they will know how much Alex Jones owes you based on what, I guess, somehow the judge knows exactly what level of butthurt you experienced at his, due to his show. It's kind of amazing when you let's just look at some of the other shows and the damage that they've caused, right? Remember all those news shows that were like pushing the invasion of Iraq, right? Or been pushing war with Russia, or covered up crimes in Afghanistan, and like Alex Jones is the one, like his show's the problem that's hurting people. Like,
that's what I don't get. It's
insane.
It's like they're testing out what they can do to him, they do to us eventually. This is something I've been saying before when they canceled him off Facebook, when they I mean, just so now it's like he's the canary in the coal mine. That's what I've
well,
always said.
Wasn't he
Alex
one of the
Jones.
first to be canceled, deplatformed?
Yep.
Banned?
He was the first to be deplatformed from everywhere. Like there's other people that got banned from certain platforms before him, but he got hit by like all of the platforms simultaneously, which is how you know that they were
Word came
on
down from Uncle Klaus or whoever, like his voice will now be silenced.
I would bet a lot of money it wasn't Klaus, but it was definitely directed by the government, in my opinion. So I'll put on my fake lawyer hat and talk a little bit out of my ass, but I believe that there's usually like statutory restrictions on how much you're able to get for like pain and suffering, and then you can get treble damages, which is I think triple or quadruple whatever that amount is. So like if you explain that you lost your job or you were traumatized emotionally because of whatever Alex said on his show that ruined your life, you can extrapolate from the lost income. You can add up healthcare bills if you went and saw a psychiatrist and shit like that, and then you can add some sort of amount, $1 million, $2 million of psychological or emotional damages, and then you can get treble damages if the jury rules as such, which is like triple or quadruple that. So somehow the fuck they got to 4 million or 45 million. I've seen different figures, but it's all absurd, and I honestly don't believe he can pay
anything like that. In fact, I think I heard this headline is a bunch of bullshit. Like I'm looking at a CNN business headline: the jury finds InfoWars conspiracy theorist Alex Jones should pay $45.2 million in punitive damages to the parents of the Sandy Hook shooting victims. But then if you read the article, okay, it goes on and blah 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 blah. And then it says, due to Texas statute, this might not be the case, which is kind of an odd way of saying our headline is bullshit. Let me see if I can find the.
Well, if that's the case, it's bizarre that the judge would let that be the verdict or whatever they call it in a civil trial.
Yeah, I just think it's absurd. I think the fact that they're even here still is an absurd thing because the whole
the Sandy Hook kids?
Oh wow!
So,
all right, I got you with that one.
I'm trying to make a serious point here. Like, no, it's like, where does free speech? Where does it stop? I mean, are they going to come hit you for that joke? Are they going to come try to where does it end? Where does this all end?
And this is why I'm so concerned. I honestly believe like this is an attack on alternative media, like broad based. All of us are in jeopardy because I talk conspiracy shit. I'm just theorizing. I don't have a clue on half the stuff that I'm saying, but it's still. I think that's how you get to the bottom of stuff. You have to be able to converse about it. You have to be able to take my ideas, pair it with your guys' ideas, and then see if we can distill it down to something that seems more logical. And this is a really dangerous precedent. I mean, especially since he didn't dox these people. He didn't put out their address, their names. I don't think he even put out their names as far as I know. So it's just an amazing, as far as I'm concerned, it's a criminal judgment against him.
Yeah, he has some sort of liability for what his listeners may or may not have done. Like, how is that fair at all? Right? Like, it's some crazy lunatic. Like,
well, then why is Rachel Maddow not bankrupt because that fucking lunatic went and shot up the congressional baseball field? I mean,
yep.
Yeah.
And he even cited her, right? He was like, I was inspired by.
Yeah, I mean, there's crazy people do shit based off of inspiration from a litany of different political commentators. Like, this is not something that can be a precedent. We just can't have that. You have to have personal responsibility on the lunatics.
I don't know about this show. We don't really inspire anybody, but
hopefully, whatever lunatics we're inspiring, you're on your own. This is what CNN says. It says, okay, out of the total 49.3 million, the 45.2 million in punitive damages may be reduced due to Texas statute. I don't know what that means.
Probably means that they have a cap on the amount of damages that can be levied.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to pay anything like that, but yet they still ran that headline.
Yeah.
The whole idea is to send a message to people that might follow in his footsteps. And to just chill anyone who's going to step out of line, and just to remind everybody who's
Sounds
the boss.
Familiar. Sounds a lot like the Ross Ulbricht case.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to couple it now with what just came out earlier this week, in the fact that we're all officially on list, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made it.
I mean,
guys.
if you haven't
we
already,
made it.
Is
Yeah.
this your first time?
I got put on 2 lists in 10 days. Southern Poverty Law Center as well as DHS. This is fucking
that's
awesome.
right. Yeah.
I got
nice.
Oh,
back
that's
to
right.
back.
You did get hit. You got the
Yeah.
hate watch. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
Dan,
I'm so
Dan
jealous.
Smott snuck
Oh,
in
wow.
2 weeks ago, and I guess that's when that article came out, and we were talking about it like the last, and that was crazy, dude. Like the SPLC, yeah, 2 times in 1 week.
What did they say? What did
Yeah.
Southern Poverty Law Center have to
Well,
say?
that was in regard to free. You weren't on that show, Babs, but it was what was that? Freedom Fest, right, Clint?
Yeah. Andrew Yang was speaking at Freedom Fest for the Forward Party, whatever the fuck that is. And
the Great Leap
and-
Forward Party.
yeah, exactly. And the UBI, aka Socialism Party.
For
And I
billionaires.
was a speaker there, and so was Reed Coverdale, so was Dave Smith, so was a handful of, well, Dave was supposed to be there. He ended up not being there because his kid was sick. But it was like a Mises Caucus. There was a bunch of us there, and because of that, they tried to like tangentially connect Andrew Yang to Ryan Dawson, because like a handful of times I've been on different shows with Ryan Dawson, and they have, SPLC has they have a page dedicated to Ryan Dawson. So if you've ever been on a panel with Ryan Dawson, that's enough to, by process of Kevin Baconing your way via bigotry chain to all the way up to Andrew Yang being at the same event. I shit you not, that was the purpose of the
It's
article.
literally
Was
no.
this
That
going
was
to end
literally the
Andrew Yang's political career?
It was yeah. Like,
Well,
as
whatever.
as if-
I don't
as
care.
if Ryan Dawson's more embarrassing than Andrew Yang. Come on.
Who is Ryan Dawson?
He was like kind of one of the original canaries in the coal mine too. He got nuked. He was a big YouTuber and big everything kind of in the conspiracy realm. But he did really good research on 9/11. He did really good research on the Epstein case, and that is the primary reason that he is now persona non grata. But he's also questioned the history or the amount of people that have died during the Holocaust, and you cannot do that. He doesn't deny the Holocaust. He just has actually looked into it, and that's enough to get him labeled an anti-Semite.
Yeah, he goes hard on Zionism, so then of course
Yeah.
he gets the anti-Semite.
Well, he did post the picture of the Zyklon B for the picture of the podcast he did.
Oh, he's also a troll.
Yeah. But that wasn't doing him any favors.
No, it's not.
Jared,
It's not.
Jared, is he an anti-Semite? What's the ruling from?
I don't know enough about the guy. I can't judge.
Based off of my interactions with him, he's never demonstrated himself to be that. He is very anti-Zionist, though.
Yeah.
As
This
you
is the
should.
picture here on the screen. This is the picture of the 3. What is this? Is another. Wait, this is another. I haven't seen this one.
There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them.
Oh, there is 2 of them.
I like
Okay,
this
so
one though because it has MVEs consider the following individuals to be martyrs: Vicky Weaver, Marvin Heemeyer, Lavoy Finicum, Duncan Lemp,
What?
Ashley Babbitt.
Wow.
Duncan Lemp?
She's the only one I
Ashley
wouldn't really
Babbitt made the
consider.
list.
Yeah, that seems. Who's
What?
Well, they're desperate to try to tie this into January 6th, right?
right?
Yeah.
Goodness
It's
gracious,
not a tie-in. What's the point?
am I a domestic violent extremist or what? I consider all those people to be.
I know, right? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Jeez. I didn't see this one. I only saw the other one.
yeah. Let
So
me
this
get
is
the
a
other one up.
Project Veritas got their hands on these alleged documents. Fuck.
I haven't ever seen this side of it. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
I wish Roger. I think Roger Pion should be on that list of heroes. I'd like to officially complain to the FBI, internal, whoever they published this.
I've actually never heard of
Please.
Roger Pion.
They're
Let's pull
listening.
up the docs.
They'll listen. They're hearing us.
There's Google the ballad of Roger Pion to hear it in folk song form. I think
All right.
where it really deserves to be.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a whole movie. Wow. Roger Pion, the Magnificent, the movie.
The Magnificent.
Yeah.
All right. That's hilarious. If your name is Magnificent, that's pretty cool.
He's
I think this
earned
is the
it.
one y'all have seen, right?
Yes, this
Yeah.
is the image. So
Oh,
this
I
is the
love
other.
the Boog. I'm glad the Boog flag got in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The big
that
igloo.
should be there.
Anarcho-capitalism.
I
Yeah.
think that's fair. Right? Like if
Black-
you
a
did Boog
black flag.
like that, right? Well,
Yeah,
what
dude,
about
that-
the Punisher? Like, aren't those the cops?
Yeah, that's the cops.
Yeah, those are like cop supporters.
So it's
dude,
possible
the cop that iced Daniel Shaver had the fucking Punisher on his AR when he clipped his ass. So, hello.
It was on the screensaver of the Uvalde cop while he was like using hand sanitizer.
For real.
Fucking coward.
Yeah.
What's most offensive to me about this is that the fucking anarcho-communists aren't on here. Antifa, hello? Anybody?
Yeah.
They need to keep trying.
Or you know who I don't see on here? I don't see Patriot Front at all. I don't see them on here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they have their
why.
connections.
I like the one at the bottom. Revolutionary War imagery. I live. You know what? I think I know where one of their bases is. It's called Valley Forge National Park.
You should report it.
Yeah.
And,
there's a lot of symbolism there.
It's called the American Smithsonian Museum.
They're gonna have to surveil the entire city of Boston.
I was walking around Old City, Philadelphia, and I could see that shit everywhere. I felt like there could be a rebellion at any moment.
Who's flying the Betsy Ross flag? I don't.
The Betsy Ross house in Philadelphia. They're probably the only one. Have you ever heard of that? You can visit Betsy Ross's house in Philly, but it's not Betsy Ross's house, and you're a chump.
Oh, really?
It's just for tourists.
That's funny.
How about that? What's the come and take it?
Mullen Labe?
Gadsden.
Yeah, the Gadsden flag is
the one with
of
the
them.
cannon and the star.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mullen Labe.
Okay.
Or Labe. I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
So any 2A
Labia.
symbolism, anything. That's
Mullen Labia. Yeah.
Mullen Labia.
How about
you got it right, Slavic.
The Liberty Tree? Oh yeah, needs watering. You know what that means.
Oh, the blood of the people who compiled this list. Yes. I mean,
dude, so then this coincides with
electrical resistance symbol. What?
Wait, where's that? Oh, what the fuck?
Fourth down on the left column.
Let's get a
I've never
zoom
seen
on
that
puppy.
Are they targeting electricians now?
A way to identify as a resistor.
oh god.
So, yeah, basically, This is oh, you do home electronics? Yeah, you're on the list.
What? You're trying to go off grid?
Wow.
Forget about it.
Do you hate the government, but you love
radio.
puns?
Right.
Yeah. Some dad joke got in there, and they're like, "Oh shit."
We gotta leave this.
Got Erica's dad joke.
That's just a dad joke. Run amok.
Get it? I'm a resistor.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, so this all coincides with this inflation bill being signed, and 87. What was it? 87,000 new IRS agents.
Yep, pretty awesome.
Now
we're all domestic terrorists, and they're going to unleash
the
IRS agents on us.
This is what I'm thinking. Like 87,000 more tax feeders, I can imagine. Okay. All they have to do is just announce 87,000 new IRS agents for audits, and everyone goes scrambles to self-compliance. Are they going to start doing their job better? I doubt it. So tax resistors or whatever you are, don't be intimidated by these new 89,000 enforcers. Did you see the heat map I posted in the group chat of where they do audits?
Yeah, we should pull that.
So the Wall Street Journal posted this article that says the IRS are about to go beast mode, and so this is the map of where you're most likely to get audited. Look at that.
Right. Where's the white area?
You can't see it. Basically, if you like, where are the poor people? Okay?
Yeah, this is just like where poor people are.
And it's like all the Northeast, the big city areas are omitted. LA, San Francisco,
somehow
Seattle,
Maryland is safe.
And then
That's
it's like,
nice.
oh look,
yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah,
almost all the Northeast is immune except for there's more poor people in Maine. Gotcha. You know, it's like
I want to do something that I have never done before, and that's defend the government in this situation, because I think that this is really misleading, because what it's showing you is your percentage of probability of being audited. So if you live in a big city, there's so many more people around you, like the percentage is smaller. So if you live more rurally, the percentage is higher. So I think that's why.
So it's like a strength in numbers kind of a defense.
I think so.
They just don't have as many. You're saying they don't have as many personnel, but now they're deploying 89,000 new people. Maybe that's to get more proportional where their population is.
I think
mean,
my
this
buddy
is per
Cole,
this is per filing, so it should account for population.
well, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Says
Well, but
income tax filings in
let's
these
say you're New
counties.
York City. Okay.
No, it's based on counties. So,
Well, let's say you're a heavily populated county, and they, let's just say there's 10 million people there, and they hire 1 million IRS agents, or not enough, but it's possible that they're understaffed in the more metro areas, is what I think you're saying. Whereas,
yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
IRS agent to potential victim is just better.
Well, I mean, but then again, they probably don't even audit based off of location. Well, maybe they do. I guess a higher end audit, they actually send an investigator into your office, because I've seen it happen before. But for the vast majority of audits, it's just done over the mail. Like they just.
I think it's just this map is a consequence. They're not targeting by geography. I think they're trying to target people that are that maybe can't afford a lawyer. Or
that's what everyone is reading into this, and I'll grant you that could certainly be possible. Like if I was the IRS, I would be auditing poor people because they can't afford to fight it.
But you also need to, you're also lazy because you're a government employee yourself, and the idea of getting like a missing 10 million from one guy versus $10 from a million guys, right? It's got to be attractive to go for the bigger fish.
True, but then you have a real fight if you actually go for the 10 million from the big guy. So it's a trade-off. I see both sides.
Of course, Baltimore City is above the national rate, so no surprise there.
I think the trick is to not be in that sort of Goldilocks zone for the predators, right?
Right.
Where you've got just enough money to make it worth their time, but not enough to properly defend it. Like,
yeah,
that's 100% true. They do that because
don't either be super poor or be super wealthy. Don't try to do it in the middle.
So the middle class. Yeah.
That was my problem, is that I was making high income, but I was a sole proprietor of a mortgage company in San Diego. So the Bureau of Real Estate would come down on me every fucking year because they knew that I would be an easy target. Whereas a bank would have, 100 attorneys that they could throw at a case to defend them. Whereas I was just probably going to, basically plead my way out if they caught anything. So, it's very common that they will go after someone who's got enough income to pay, but not enough income to really make a fight worthwhile. And that's where you're at, which is why the middle class is dying.
Old money knows how to protect it. New money is still learning.
That too. Yep, sure. But you also got to have a shit ton of money to actually protect it, because the government's got, almost limitless resources.
Well, I think they're getting hungrier. It's just anecdotally, it seems the narratives they're pushing, it's so anti-wealth, it's so anti-success. Even though we've had record tax revenues recently, I think the federal government has never had this much tax revenue, but yet we still need 89,000, or they need 89,000 new IRS agents, or to at least threaten it. And they're going to continue to ratchet and ratchet and ratchet. And we all know they don't give a shit about a few billionaires that they're not even, they're not going to be able to get. The poor people aren't, you can't get blood from a stone.
Right.
So, that leaves us in the middle zone, like, and they're looking at us like a mosquito, like, looks at your jugular vein.
Yeah, the ironic part is that Biden ran on not raising taxes on anyone over 400,000, and the people from about 100,000, 150,000 up to 400,000, those are the people that are going to get fucking hammered by these IRS agents. So, and those are the people that can actually like grow to that next level where they start to hire employees and actually create, a real bounty for our GDP to increase. And it's totally self-defeating. But this is why I constantly, harp on the fact that we're in the end stage of empire. This is like the vultures just fucking eating our bone marrow at this point.
Everybody's trying to get their last bit of looting. Like, oh, there's one last TV to be carried out the smashed window.
Dude, that's what Ukraine is. Like 100%. That's what Ukraine is. It is just a fucking cash cow for the scummiest politicians that are still in office. Like,
it's a money laundering operation. That's all it is.
Yes.
People don't care how many Ukrainians die to get it done either.
Not at all.
No, the total disregard for an average Ukrainian who gets to be the victim in this bullshit proxy war.
And for the record, Zelensky could care less too. He's out there.
Of course
just
he does.
stacking chips.
He as long as he gets his Vogue photo shoot.
Vogue shoots, yeah. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Wow.
He's moved. He's already got enough money into properties and shit around the world. He's ready to make an exit as soon as he gets turned on. I thought maybe they're already starting to turn on him.
Oh, I think they are, and
There's been some like NPR article about like maybe we should start looking at this corruption. Nobody knew they were corrupt in the Ukraine. Like, whoa.
Except the New York Times in 2016 when they wrote about it. No one knew.
Right. Yeah.
As of 2018, this was the most corrupt country in Europe, but they quickly rehabilitated it and forgot. But now they're starting to remember again. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, especially when Biden was getting the inspector general fired over there, who was looking into corruption, threatening to withdraw $1 billion in aid to their country on the phone. And then also he was caught. Victoria Nuland's caught talking about it on the phone, and Joe Biden is not even caught. He's on fucking stage bragging about it. And it's like, we're not allowed to talk about any of this. It's all transparent corruption, and no one cares other than.
And they're still going after Trump. Yet we know what Hunter is doing clearly, and they're still just going after Trump. They raided his Mar-a-Lago today.
By the way, I just wanted to say, give props to my buddy Cole from Tower Gang. I think he nailed it this afternoon when he tweeted out about it. He was saying, the 87,000 IRS agents are about two things. I'm going to add something that he didn't say, but it's also true. One, they need a lot of agents to go after the crypto market because that's where a ton of wealth is at. And they don't have enough people to deal with that at this point. So that's a big portion of these new hires, or at least maybe the old agents will be migrating into that field. So these new hires will be filling.
They're too stupid to do blockchain forensics.
Well, I think they're gonna get good at it, man. If there's money to be found, they're gonna get good at it eventually.
Companies like Coinbase that are like, well, let us just do that for you, and we could just do our own snitching on our customers for you.
Yeah, I already got hit.
Yeah, every broker's doing that. Yeah, every broker's doing that. But the other point he was making, and I think this is dead on, is that this is about having people in place to enforce once they switch over to a central bank digital currency. And I think that makes a lot of sense too. Is that they realize that this transition is going to be really tough, and you're going to have a lot of people, especially if we enter a hyperinflationary period. You're going to have people that are lying about their taxes all over the fucking place. So they got to have a lot of people on the docket to handle these audits.
I'm trying to get out. I feel like it's not going to be safe to earn money anymore. This is
why I retired, bro. I feel you.
Honestly, I can't. It just seems too risky to me. And as everything gets just locked down harder, and if CDBCs do really become ubiquitous and unavoidable, I'll just be so depressed.
It's game over at that point. If we have a full CBDC rollout and they actually criminalize other digital currencies that aren't as easily tracked or redeemed by the federal government, I think we're totally fucked. So that's why Jose, shout out another Tower Gang guy. He's an agorist, and he's constantly talking about migrating over to these community type trading apparatuses already, so that you're ready once the CBDCs are rolled out, so that you can actually still function. I think it's a real threat.
Bitcoin. And as thirsty and as pissed off as they are at Bitcoin users, they can only really mess around with the exchanges and the boundary with fiat. So as bad as they get, we're always going to have a community of people that can trade in Bitcoin and exchange value. And you know what? Even if we're 1 out of 100, I don't care. I'll be with you, 1 out of 100 people out there using Bitcoin. And everybody else can be using their CDBCs. I'll be fine with that. I don't care.
It's still trackable on the blockchain though. So that's the big concern about Bitcoin, is that
it's trackable, but you get to say I don't care. I don't, you can't censor it. It's saying I know you want to censor this, but you can't.
Yeah, but they can still fucking arrest you. That's my concern with it. So.
Same.
Where's this all going with this ESG, Clint? You've been on top of this.
And, that's why I'm kind of on top of CBDC stuff is because I think it's kind of the natural progression of ESG.
They're all tied.
Yeah, it really is. How do you guys, all four of you, already know more or less what ESG is? Because I don't want to.
Why don't you give us a breakdown?
No, break it down, because I mean it's talking to. I mean, I listen to No Agenda, listening to you. They bring it up, but sometimes talking amongst some libertarians, even some like Mises Caucus, where I figure like, hey, you don't know about this, like. This is woke capitalism, and but you break it down. But go ahead, Clint. Like, give it a rundown.
Yeah, 2000, there was an initiative from the United Nations that I forget what it was called. Something like it was like DPI or something like that, where they were gonna basically they were just laying out what their goals were for carbon reduction on Earth.
And by carbon reduction, that they mean you.
Yes, well, that's what they really mean, but that's not what they say.
We are made of carbon, so
yes.
Yeah,
and we also exhale, or we inhale it. So, and we exhale it to some extent. But anyways, so 2004, Kofi Annan, who was the general of the UN at the time, he sends out a letter to 50 biggest businesses on the planet, and he says, "Hey, this is what we're planning to do. Are you guys interested in participating?" And shocker of shockers, basically all of them respond in the affirmative. They go, "Yes, this sounds like a great idea. What can we do to help?" So you got Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan Chase, all the biggest money managers all say, "Thumbs up. Fuck yeah, let's do it." So by like 2008 or 9, they kind of have this framework in place where they're going to have some sort of metric, and that metric eventually gets titled ESG, environmental, social, and governance. E being environmental, which is fairly straightforward. It's about protecting the environment, allegedly. S being social, like social justice, so it's all the woke shit. And then governance being the makeup of your board, so like racial quotas and shit like that. So S and G are two things that every libertarian should be against, because it's the woke shit, and it's like hiring quotas based off of race, which is antithetical to liberty as far as I'm concerned. And then the environmental stuff, it sounds good, but ultimately it just gets greenwashed. They don't actually end up ever delivering on any of these things. And I have a handful of fun examples that can demonstrate how full of shit ESG is. I don't know if you want to go there, but basically it's a fraud. It's being perpetuated by the three biggest money managers that exist today on the planet, which are State Street, BlackRock, and Vanguard. They have tens and tens of trillions of dollars under management just between those three. They all offer ESG products in terms of index funds. They manage, pensions and things of that nature. So they have huge investor assets that they have a fiduciary responsibility to manage. And as far as I'm concerned, they are breaking that fiduciary responsibility by, and because I used to be a fiduciary, I take this very personally. This is why I kind of made this my baby, because I was like, all right, I used to be a fiduciary to hundreds of millions of dollars. These guys are fiduciaries too. And by the way, a fiduciary, for your audience, if they aren't familiar, just means that you have to put your investors' interests over your own, right? Very straightforward principle. And I don't think they're doing that. I think that they are seeking, government special treatment, because they are willing to propagate the ideology of the kind of Marxist Green New Deal type agenda, and they're willing to sacrifice profits in the name of better government relationships, as well as power. It's basically a power game, and it's
just a tighter integration with the state, right?
Yes, like and this is why this is
merger of government and corporate power, as Mussolini described as fascism.
Exactly. And this is why I've been bringing up fascism so much of late, is once I had fully wrapped my head around it, I realized that, we were really dealing with fascism. And I think that another corollary that I'm the only person that I've heard make this connection, but I really don't think that the lockdowns would have happened if it weren't for this framework already being in place. There's this belief in technocracy, which is a ruling elite, just this intelligentsia, like the smartest scientists, the carbon scientists, the epidemiologists, like whatever the fuck they say, we all have to do. And if you don't do it, you have your life ruined. And that's what's happening. That's what happened during lockdowns. It was like, that was the first real example that I had that this alliance between big business and big government was extraordinarily deep. Because if you actually look at the bottom line of the big businesses during lockdowns, skyrocketed upwards. All the mom and pop businesses go out of business, right? So who benefited from lockdowns? Corporate America. Who got crushed by lockdowns? All the regular people, all the little guys. And that's exactly what you see in fascism. It ends up being this alliance between the biggest businesses as they fucking crush, not just the smaller competitors, but also political dissidents. And we're seeing that through censorship apparatus, through Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and everywhere else. I don't think any of this is coincidental. And I think it's really, it's the biggest problem we face. And if we don't wrap our heads around it, and especially if the libertarians don't wrap their heads around it and present the solutions that are freedom oriented, you're going to end up with some sort of fucking right wing backlash that ends up, giving us all sorts of other problems. So I really want this to be like
some of the
our
solutions,
focus.
Clint, what now? We know that Bitcoin isn't the answer to everything, but it's going to at least give us a means of exchange. Whether
it can help us on the individual level, but it can't break this system as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I just want to survive it at this point, right? Like, and what I think it's up to us is to protect ourselves from it, right? And to understand what's causing it and to be prepared, and so we can thrive despite what shenanigans they're coming. And I believe there's going to be large scale suffering.
Yeah, me too.
Mass starvation.
Me too.
And I feel like I'm going to be okay because I have access to certain resources, probably. But I think there's other people that are already dead. They just haven't starved to death yet because their food supply was already cut off. And there's just no way to move enough food to where hungry people are at this point. So
Black Pill Babs here.
I know, right?
Sorry, dude, but
He's
it's
not
freaking dark out there. It's dark.
he's not wrong though.
But to
be ready to protect themselves, and I mean, whether it's cryptocurrency, stacking gold, other resources, firearms,
hunting skills,
to create food,
farms,
fuel, energy, independence,
defensible land.
These things are all coming together. Homeschooling,
full prep shit.
Yeah,
it's not for just crazy preppers anymore.
Yes,
Nah.
it's for everybody now. Hooray!
But get some freaking resources and be ready. Just
100%, dude. I mean, I spent 2 years on my show fucking telling people to prepare. So I pray to God. I know many of them did, and a lot of them have thanked me already because they sold their house this year, and they're all pumped because they got out right before the interest rate spiked, and they've already seen a downtick in the market, and they got out at the top. That's fucking rad.
But what would it look like if we've seen Nancy Pelosi trying to do warmongering with China. Like, what would happen if they decide to do to China what they did to Russia? Okay, the country that America gets all its stuff from, and they decide to start doing that kind of shenanigans, start seizing their assets.
That's why I think it won't happen. Actually,
what's that?
That's why mindset that China's going to collapse, right, Clint? Like, you're not like some of these neocons are just like, oh my God, China's so powerful.
Yeah, they love the
mindset. Wouldn't the United States collapse in about 3 days?
Yeah,
I don't understand how the United States. What would that look like in the United States if people like Nancy Pelosi actually succeeded?
Well, this is why I don't think it'll happen, because I don't know who it was, Ron Paul or Bastiat or whoever the fuck said if you send goods across borders, you don't send troops. I really don't think that. Was it? Okay. I think I've heard Ron Paul quoted or something, but I really think that gives me the greatest hope that we won't end up in
when goods can't cross borders, troops will.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it works.
What Nancy Pelosi and a lot of people, including the Trumpers, are like, they never like trade. They don't like free trade. They don't want trade with China. Like, they're so like they've got their anti-China thing. The warmongers have their angle on it. I don't know if they even care what it would do to prosperity and our standard of living if they continue to go down that road. But you think it's
if they want a great reset, that's a great way to do it. I mean, if you want to have a global depression, sure, trade embargo China and just let everything fucking.
I think Americans will cheer. I think a large amount of America will cheer for it. The America first, the Buy American people, they're going to be
they
like,
deserve to starve.
Oh, it's worth it. Oh, just like the people that are like, oh, I'll pay $5 a gallon to stick it to Putin. Like people will believe they'll go along with any kind of like damage to their own self if it's presented to them the right way.
Well, that would be awful if so. I mean, I don't disagree that there's a huge percentage of this country that's completely economically illiterate, and they would cheer on their own fucking demise. But still, I have to believe that the economic powers that exist in this country, and there's many big businesses that are banking on the growth market in China. That gives me tremendous hope that we will avoid a hot conflict with China or even a serious Cold War with China, because ultimately our government is owned by the big businesses. The big businesses are owned by the CCP to a certain extent and to the Chinese market. Moreover, I think that leads us to a higher probability of peace than war. That's my honest opinion. And also, I think that China's economy is a fucking house of cards, Potemkin Village piece of shit. So I think that if, they have to play ball with us too, because they rely on us for an export market, the biggest export market in the world, mind you. So I think all cards are lining up to say probably not war, probably not. And if there is a war, then we all die. So let's hope I'm right.
What about a de-dollarization from China?
You mean in terms of like getting off the US dollar?
We're like, what if China decides to try to get rid of their dollar-denominated assets?
Yeah, they could do that. But
looking at Russia, what happened to Russia that lost a bunch of their assets when they became unpopular? If I was China, I'd be looking at my dollar-denominated assets, going,
yeah,
maybe these aren't the best investments going forward.
Well, fortunately for us and unfortunately for them, if they try and dump all of their treasury holdings and corporate bond holdings, they would tank our market by creating a hyperinflationary spiral here, which would make their additional holdings here worth less and less. So it hurts them, like it's like that.
They might be looking for a soft landing for themselves.
Of course, who wouldn't, right?
Transition into something that's not so dependent on the dollar.
Yes, and they're going to certainly try and transition. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just saying that they can't. Like they can't do it with a light switch. It would be the same thing. Like if they do that to us, we throw up trade embargoes, and then it becomes a hot war very, very rapidly. So I don't think either side will do that.
Would I don't know if there's any limits to the whatever dumbass ideas that Washington and Beijing politicians can come up with.
Well, I'm telling you the limit, man. It's the corporate overlords that actually run them. Like I promise you, like Nancy Pelosi doesn't get to decide. Like it is the fucking Boeings and Googles and Apples and like all the biggest businesses are really the people that tell them what to do. I don't believe that our representatives do a fucking thing of their own volition.
You don't get a portfolio like Pelosi by not taking like your orders from above.
Yeah, she is stacking chips off of her corruption.
Right? She's probably what this was all about. Was probably about wasn't it something in one of these bills? Semiconductors, and
that's what a lot of people
Taiwan's
theorize,
one of the largest exporter of
NVIDIA chips or something.
They dumped their NVIDIA stock.
Taiwan? Did we talk about her speech in Taiwan? Did you hear that shit? Like what
she
actually said in Taiwan?
I mean, it was we stand with Taiwan, I assume.
It was giving Biden a run for his money on just dementia rambling.
Oh, damn, we should find it for the after hours.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, it's like what the hell? Like,
dude, and then that flyover video. Did anybody see that? With it must have been some sailor on one of the ships, but I mean, it's a full carrier group, and whoever filmed it, it was put up on TikTok. They filmed it from the ship, and it was the whole flyover of her fucking plane going to Taiwan. There was literally probably, I want to say about 15 or 16 F-18s, a B-1 bomber at the front of the formation. We're talking probably 20-some planes surrounding it, a whole aircraft carrier destroyer. It's like, what the fuck?
I heard it was $80 million for her security detail for that trip.
Yeah.
How good was that for the environment?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Then she gets off the plane and goes, "You can't eat beef anymore, you pieces of shit."
Right.
God, I hate it.
And she got like wasted on the plane, I think.
Yeah, she's like of
course.
I mean, I drank fermented bug juice. That's my new alcohol. That's what she's butt chugging right now. Fucking whore. What a bitch. Oh God, I can't stand her.
You want them ham slammers.
The titties, though. Man. I will objectify her. Yeah, man. This picture of her on the beach. Have you seen that, Clint?
Oh yeah, mommy
Oh,
milkers,
yeah.
dude. Hell yeah, I would.
I've run a batch or two. Yeah.
Jerked off to it 25 times, brother. Today.
Amazing. That's a lot of stamina.
Yeah, well, that's how you
I
get to
use
the
that.
top.
I
like
think of
Clint.
that when I'm trying not to climax.
yeah. You're trying to...
That's a good point too.
Yeah. I
Oh,
think about
man.
that and it's like immediate climax. So I gotta.
I go,
Otto,
oh,
we need
baseball,
like a
baseball,
shirt.
baseball.
Otto, we need like a shirt with like your list of like ugly politicians that you'd bang.
Yeah.
Dude, Klobuchar.
Klobuchar.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you serious, Otto? What the fuck?"
I'm a
Who was the other one you were all about? Warren?
Oof. Who?
Warren?
No. Ew. No.
Tulsi?
What little do you think? Who wouldn't with Tulsi? Come on.
Harry Reid.
Harry Reid. Jill Biden.
He couldn't afford me. Let's just say that. I charge for the men. I would charge.
Two driveways of snow.
Oh no. Okay, we gotta end it here. We can't be no more snow shoveling jokes. All right. Cool.
I gotta look this up now. Fuck.
Yeah, I know. Oh man. Well, I think that's about it for that. We've gone like a full hard hour. Really,
that's what she said. Wait, what? But
we're like a minute.
Get out of here.
That's what she's never said to me.
Yeah, I know, right? Cool. Well, thank you, Clint. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully, you can stick around for the After Hours podcast. We're gonna record it right after this one. Once we end the live stream, dude, tell people where they can find you.
Twitter at Liberty Lock Pod. I am approaching 50K, so if you guys could help me get over that, I'd appreciate it. And Liberty Lockdown on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all over the place. So hope some people, if you're interested in ESG, if you're interested in that guest list I threw out earlier, come check me out.
yeah, you had Kate Fantanel. She was on a couple episodes ago talking Australia, so that was dope. I'm glad you connected with her.
Her on. And David Limbrick, who's a MP over there. She ran to be an MP, but she didn't win. David's actually in there, so he gave me the inside scoop, and she kind of gave me the outside scoop. She's now left and is vacationing in America for a couple months. So it was a good episode. It was kind of an update on the tyranny in Australia. It's tragic what happened to them, man. I mean, it happened to us too, but it happened to them even worse, which is hard to believe.
And
a lot of China influence there.
Yeah,
I feel like Steve Irwin is probably glad he got killed by that manta ray.
Jesus.
I think it's all been downhill since Irwin got.
God, how do we get to Irwin? See, this is why we know we need to end it. We got to get
not around
hours.
still to see what's become of Australia.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Clint.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want to hear more of Clint talking to us, we're going to go over to our After Hours podcast, which we're going to record right after this. If you guys want to hear that, for as little as $3 a month, you can sign up for our Patreon. You get that plus the whole back catalog of shows that we've recorded. All 400 and some plus, Jesus.
Damn.
So
we'll be doing exclusively racial slurs over there. So make sure you join.
And with all the hard R's. So
yes,
that's no soft R's, all the hard R's.
Yes.
Yeah. So check out our Patreon. And if you guys don't want to use Patreon, you can find other ways to donate to the show by going to PRLfans.com. That has links to our PayPal and Bitcoin. And we also, more importantly than that, we have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get a 10% discount. Use the code PRL2 for a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more. And until next time, live free
or die.